Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. It's Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And you can see the top of my cat's head. He's chilling right here with me. So I'm going to have to be real careful and not move too much during this video. So, those of you who are like, can you keep your damn arm down? Well, the cat's on it, so it's going to happen. All right. Today, we've got the best Meek deck. Miek, damn it, Mike. We've got the best deck for the brand new card. I'm going to give you my impressions of it. We've got two bundle guides. We've got custom cards from the Berryverse. We've got a Hoyoverse. That's the Genshin Impact slash Honkai Star Rail stuff. We're gonna look at those custom cards and so much more. Let's get started. But before we do, as every day, I'm gonna invite you to hit that sub button, like, comment, and ring that bell. We bring you the most consistent, organized Marvel Snap content every single weekday on this channel. Every day you get 3 new decks and a whole bunch of features between the decks. Don't miss out, hit that sub button. In addition, we're in the middle of a giveaway. All you have to do is comment on this video and be subbed, and you're entered to win one of 5 season passes. We just hit 8,000 subs. My back itches. Sorry. And the cat took off the light. It's going to be one of those videos. All right, let's move that light back over here. We just hit 8,000 subs, so we're doing an 8,000 subs special giveaway. We give away 15 season passes in addition to that every single season any freaking way. So, yeah. Sorry, the arm's up now. We give away 15 season passes every season, and we're giving away 5 extra for 8,000. So all you have to do is comment on any video from Wednesday's video, which has the current number 1 deck in Snap, which we all assume is going to change this afternoon in the OTA. It has the current number 1 deck in Snap. So we're going to talk about if you sorry. The cat is back to like rubbing all over me. If you comment that video, and now I can't get the light bright. I'm not stopping this. We're gonna keep going, I swear. You comment that video, you comment this video, you comment any video on this channel, including the OTA video. From here to Sunday, you're entered to win one of those 5 season passes. Each video, because there will be 5 between yesterday's and Sunday, is a season pass. So all you got to do is hit sub and leave a comment. You can choose between Scar and Black Swan with your win. Cool. All right. We also maintain a giveaway sheet thanks to our friend Banshee. This giveaway sheet is every single active giveaway on Marvel Snap, so you can get free stuff and find some great content. It's linked in the description to this and every video. And we're finally on to deck credits. All right, so we started with the giveaway, then we're going to do questions of the day. We have the cat is all about this today. Um, then we're going to do questions of the day, like always. Then we've got a deck from Desmond. Desmond is a phenomenal deck builder that just creates many meta decks and is constantly at the cutting edge of things. Then we've got the Berry versus Hoyoverse custom card winners, and we'll announce the new challenge. Next up, we have the Card Flips tournament, which is you can find at communitygaming.io. It's generally Southeast Asian, but it's open to anyone. These are Marvel Snap tournaments. There was one yesterday, and 7 of the top 8 decks were Thanos Blob. Well, we're going to look at that last deck. We're going to assume that Thanos Blob is going to get some kind of major hit. That Blob is going to get some kind of major hit later today. If that's the case, the one deck that could compete in that meta seems like one we want to know about and look at. So we're going to look at that. Then we're going to look at both the Kneel Before Your Queen bundle and the Vibranium Powered Offers bundle. Then we've got a deck from Zal Snap you can check out on youtube.com/ZalSnap, and we'll end as always with shop and shoutouts. Before we go forward, just a couple important things. This is a daily Snap show. We do a full show every single weekday and Sundays, which means we have 3 decks and numerous recurring segments. This is going to be the semi-regular 2 video day. We release a video in the morning at 8 a.m. like always, and then as soon as the OTA goes up, we'll have an OTA video that will have 30 decks for the new cards. Yeah, that's right, 30 decks. If you want my OTA predictions, it's in the video yesterday. And then the rest of the reminders I'm not actually going to read to you. This is just stuff for you to know if you're interested. The important one for me is if you would like help in Series 3 and you need help building decks or anything else, find me on Discord. I'm on the Marvel Snap Zone Discord. There's a section for me. Shoot me a message. If you'd rather message me on Twitter, that's fine. It'll take me about a week to be able to like find time to build you a bunch of decks, but I will build you decks. Some of them will be very good, almost no matter where you are in Series 3. Cool. All right. Deck 20, which is really cool on Twitter, and you should check out, asks, what's one card swap that made all the difference in a favorite deck? So, I mean, the big one is my bounce list that I hit Infinite with. That was a Havoc list, and I pulled out Havoc and put in Iron Man. And as soon as I pulled out Havoc and put in Iron Man, the deck started sinking. Right? Like Havoc was really good. A 2/8 is really good. 3/8 because he costs you that one energy. It's nice, right? But Iron Man's just a lot more power than that. So I've liked Iron Man a lot more in that list. Um, is there any other really obvious example? No. Um, Silver Samurai went into a lot of lists as soon as Samurai came out and made things better. And I had my greatest success with this is a wild one, but with the remember the Stature Darkhawk deck that everyone played? The one that was going Black Bolt Stature, it was like right before Iron Lad came out. So Iron Lad wasn't in it, but that deck, you know what I mean. Ran Enchantress and Shang, so on. I rocked Face with that deck. Um, my change was Nebula was in it. It was originally Nightcrawler, then it became Nebula. And I made that spot Ghost, so I didn't have to play the priority game because I always wanted to lose it because I had Shang and Enchantress, and it made the deck really thing for me. All right, Max Snap asks my thoughts on big bads, especially with Kanga's one. So, like, I think the big bad designation is kind of useless at this point in Marvel Snap. Obviously, they're not dropping things at any sort of reasonable rate. Um, Jeff is an extremely old card. Iron Lad is an extremely old card. These are still high series cards. Zabu is literally a year old at this point and is chilling in Series 4. Series drops have lost all meaning, or at least as they were when the Big Bad designation was announced. So I think it's best if they just announce that the Big Bad idea is gone. It was a cool concept back when series drops were regular, and now it doesn't mean it. Chris Turner wants to know why Sandman isn't more meta. So, um, Sandman is a really hard tempo hit, right? Because you have to actually play Sandman. Because Sandman costs 5, you have to ramp with him. If you didn't have to ramp with him and you could just play him on 4, if he was a 4 cost card, I think we'd be looking at something great. But because you have to ramp into him, you are ramping into playing a below rate card while your opponent gets to do whatever they want. That usually means they can work around you. And anytime Sandman gets good, it's worth noting that Patriot Ultron just it's the absolute crap out of Sandman. Like 90% of the time. And if Sandman ever gets out of hand, everyone can just run Patriot and just go back about their business. If you'd like your questions read out in tomorrow's video, leave one in the comments. Priority answers for Patreons. All right, this is the best Miek deck, and I'm going to tell you this straight up. Everyone, and I like all these creators, right? My friends like Wolver, are telling you to play these like crazy combo decks that are running like Wong and Collector and all that stuff. And I may have one of those I like, but I checked all the win rates, all the cube rates on all the stats on all those decks, right? And like in really low samples, they're not performing. They've got low win rates and low cube rate. Maybe a few people can compete with them, but, like, if the sample is low and they're not posting good numbers, then something is usually relatively wrong, and I don't think those decks are real. This is also a small sample deck, but 1, I played it, 2, I sent it to people to play it, and 3, Desmond climbed in high infinite with it, so I know this deck works. This is a good and powerful deck that has good and powerful play lines and can compete at the top of the meta. It will obviously struggle with Thanos Blob, but hopefully in about 4 or 5 hours, that won't be an issue. Cool? All right. So this deck is fundamentally simple. It wants to get big stats on the board while giving your opponent minor disruption. Gambit, Silver Summer. If it can get its big power on the board and it doesn't get disrupted, it often wins. That power is a little more unpredictable than opponents might think, although certain lanes are set up to be really strong, i.e., the Mobius and Drop. However, there's a lot of power in just things like a Dokken, Wolverine, Colleen lane is going to very often be a 16 power lane, and that's just enough to be frustrating and force your opponent to actually commit resources to win. If they're committing resources to win that, your other cards, like your Mobius and Apocalypse, can win another lane relatively easily. You dig? Cool. All right, so Meek can be Blade without losing honestly too much. Meek is nice in this list, but like whatever. He's a very whatever card in this list. Silver Samurai. Ooh, that's back. Silver Samurai can be Blade or Hellcow. You lose a lot without Silver Samurai in this deck. Silver Samurai is excellent. And now there's a cattail in the video. I'm telling you, he's going to be all about this one. Y'all will live, right? Hopefully you like cats. His name is Atticus, by the way. He is Atticus the Catechus Glaze. All right. This went 11 and 3 in the stats I have. 79% win rate, and then was played again on with stats being kept track of, and it went from 70th to 77th to 60th global, and that's really hard to do. Climbing within the top 100 is like an ordeal. Ask anyone who's in High Infinite. So the fact that this was able to climb in an hour or two from 77th to 60th is really impressive. This is a powerful deck. It is straightforward. You can play this successfully if you have these cards. So turn one, Miek. There's no other one, which I think is really cool. I feel like a lot of the decks we're seeing are getting bogged down with trying to run too many ones. Turn two, Morb over Colleen, i.e., you don't want to Colleen away more. Morbius is too good. So you will happily Colleen if you have just Wolverine and Swarm in hand. Turn three, Colleen over Dokken. Again, if Morbius and Swarm are in hand, I like to try and get that out. Although if you have Modok, you can move Colleen on down the line because that'll all happen naturally later. Colleen is more or less equal to Dokken. You really want to get that shard. A 3/8 is just good stats. Those are generally better than Sif unless you're trying to get a giant apocalypse and you know that early. Um, +4 on apocalypse is basically the same thing as +4 on Dokken, right? So you're fine. Gambit is for when you have priority with specific targets. So if they drop a Zabu and they have nothing else, if they drop a Lockjaw and they have, then all of a sudden Gambit becomes the play. Cool. The only card you really don't want to hit with Gambit, like you can deal with hitting basically anything, but Modok. Turn four, Samurai over Dracula. That surprised me until I thought it through. Dracula is the play against Thanos Blob. Otherwise, it's Silver Samurai. Good. Silver Samurai just offers you a lot of disruption, and if you hit Dracula, you hit Dracula. Because after you Modok, then you don't have to worry about the apocalypse into the apocalypse swarm problem. You can just play Apocalypse himself and all the swarms, and they have to figure out where the hell Apocalypse is going. And good luck. Dracula is still obviously a perfectly fine play on 4, especially because opponents will very, very often, especially if Blob is no longer this giant threat, just avoid that Dracula lane. If they are going to avoid that Dracula lane, it's amazing. You can literally just like leave a swarm in hand or something nonsensical in hand, something like medium sized, and if they're not competing there, just drop your Apocalypse and still queue. Cool. That's the play lines. This deck is really good. I truly believe this is the best Meek deck. I've got one other that I need to test more, and I will get back to you about tomorrow. But I'm telling you right now, I played the crap out of the Wong discardy ones, and they're not consistent enough. Cool. All right. Quick variant look. We've got base Miek because God forbid this season's cards have variants. Baby Morbius, which usually means Baby Wolverine, but because I have Miek and Silver Samurai, I'm not trying to keep my usual card theme going. So I just went just that one baby. And then I went hip crazy. I went Wolverine, Swarm, Gambit, Dokken, Sif, Dracula, which is 6 hips. I have a 7th in Apocalypse, but I felt like the Jacinto Apocalypse today because it's cool and I paid for it, so why not? Got Noir Colleen. Only Silver Samurai I have. It's the best Silver Samurai in the game right now. I want the hip, but it's not in the game yet. And then I decided to go with Taco Bell Modoc because, hey, sometimes you got to run for the border. All right. So this was our Drewberry's Berryverse custom card custom card contest. Sorry, I jumped by again. Now I don't know where the hell he went, but okay. This is our custom card contest. Our theme was Hoyoverse, and I said basically do whatever you want, but keep Hoyoverse and keep the characters' themes in mind. Um, if you want to participate in one of these, you check Drewberry's Discord. It's linked in the description to this video, and you can also create custom cards on snaptracker.me/custom. Cool. All right. Helping me judge was our friend Direwolf. Direwolf was, why do I keep writing Direwolf? Silver Wolf, I swear, because I left the previous slide. This is Silver Wolf, which is how I messed up last time. Telling you, work a full-time job, play with a kid. Can't type to save my life. All right, Silver Wolf has this deck. It has this custom. This is our sample custom. This is Silver Wolf. The next card you play here, activate its on reveal again. If it's ongoing, double its ongoing effect. So you can get double on reveal, which is just really, really powerful, right? It's like a one-time Wong that also works with ongoings, and I think that's super duper cool. It's going to synergize with a lot of cards. Like I think I could see something like this being printed. It obviously has synergies with um Ravona, Sarah, Zabu, any cost reduction, right? Anytime you can do this cheaply, you're getting a ton out of it because you can do more. including playing Shuri and getting double Shuri for double red for like a doubled Red Skull, which is 56 power Red Skull that you could then Taskmaster, is just backbreaking, right? Like that's game winning. And that combination means that I don't think we're going to get the double on reveal necessarily, but hey, we already have Wong and it's the same concept, right? You still need the same basic trick to pull it off. Um, it should be really, really great with Onslaught. We know how powerful double Onslaught is, and usually you have to do a lot of work to double Onslaught. Although you do have to play this on turn 5 if you want to Onslaught it on turn 6. So there is that where it's not like the great turn 5 play. Because it works with Onslaught, it works with Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, it would work great with Patriot. Any strong ongoing effects like that, Blue Marvel, Khazar, getting doubled are great. It has a really great curve into Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel giving +2 is extremely strong as a play into Surfer or Spectrum, it seems backbreaking. It seems really good with Spectrum because, hey, this seems good in an ongoing deck. And if you end up playing this on turn 5, +4 to your whole board seems nice. We talked about Shuri. Mr. Negative obviously loves this. Making it a 1/4 is insane. Um, you just play it in a deck with Wong, right? If you play this in a Wong lane, it's like playing Absorbing Man or Odin after, which is silly strong. And then my favorite, this is from our friend Min, Rito in Disguise on Twitch. Play it with Debris. You play it with Debris, you get 2 rocks in each of their locations. You can lock up their board real easily. And like that doesn't have to be your main plan. You could use like a Celine to give one of their cards -6 or something if you know that they're running like an Iron Man, right? There's lots of ways you can do it, but Debris seems cool. Keep going. Excuse me. All right, these are the Silver Wolf variants. These are the variants that Silver Wolf created for the card. I really like them. I especially like the chibi. I don't usually love chibis, but the little ones, including the little pirate one, are completely adorable, and I would totally buy the crap out of it. Ooh. Next up, we have Luca. Luca is the Honkai Star Rail winner. There had to be one winner from Honkai Star Rail and one from Genshin Impact. This is Inspector Husky. Congrats, Inspector Husky. This deck is probably OP at these base stats. It probably has to start at 3/4 or 3/3. But I love the concept and I love the new keyword that this person created. So 3/5, after each turn, challenge a random card here. If it wins, it gets +2 power. If it loses, it gets -2. Because it's not doing anything to that random card, it will keep fighting that card and getting bigger each turn, which means if you play it on curve, it becomes a 7 on 3, a 9 on 4, an 11 on 5, and a 13 on 6. That's just too big, right? So it has to start at 3/3 because I think 3/3, and if it can manage to win all of its fights, becoming a 3/11 is absolutely worth it. I'd also love to see this keyword with other different effects. The obvious synergies are Surfer, and then general buff cards like Nikaya, Okoye, and Forge, which means it works really well in those Surfer Forge decks that are sort of around right now. If you want to build it to lose challenges, especially if it starts at a lower base power, it feels pretty funny with Annihilus, right? Um, if it is good, you want it with armor and Luke Cage. Luke Cage eliminates its downside. Because it's so good and your opponent has to play in that location, it's probably good with Sandman. And having 2 of these feels really powerful, so it's probably good with Zola. I love this card, and I really want this as a 3/3, but I really want it. The variants are also great. I like the weightlifting one. It feels extraordinarily anime in a perfect way, as does the other one where he's holding the second character on his shoulders. These are just great. I also like that he clearly thinks he's super buff, and he's just definitely not. So apparently, the story of this character that he's a character that loves fighting but doesn't really care if he loses. So again, start him with a lower power so that like he'll actually lose sometimes. And I think this is actually design. All right. Our last card is our Genshin winner. There are no variants for this one, but I love this card. So, ready? Pull each player's highest cost card in play to this location and then swap their power, as in swap the power of your highest cost card that you pulled to that location with theirs. So like that's completely insane with cards like Iron Man or like a late game Darkhawk that's not really working. Just be like flip it, Iron Man especially, right? Like you get like an 18-20 power Iron Man that way. It's really good with Devil Dinosaur. Potentially it has to flip base power, right? Like so it could check their current power, but it has to flip their base power because otherwise ongoing effects are completely bonkers with this. White Tiger seems really good. You get a really powerful White Tiger and give them a 1. Leader makes a lot of sense, although obviously you're playing ramp at that point. If you play Hammer Lane with Craven and Kingpin, you get to trigger those cards as well. The current Dracula seems completely bonkers with this, and that's a nice little curve. And then Hercules seems good. But Hercules seems extra good because even though he's 6 power, you're gonna pull both those cards in, and then Hercules is gonna punch that card away, and that seems absolutely hilarious. Like completely bonkers hilarious. This is my single favorite design of all of these, no offense to the others, which I think are wonderful. But I'm not even gonna try and say Kid Zahara Kazuha is just fantastic. Tim is my favorite of these. Congrats, Tim. I really like the pull. It feels like it's a really cool like anime character, right? Like where it does like the pull in move and then it like smashes everybody. I love it. This is super fantastic. Congrats to our winners, who are Inspector Husky and Tim for their great cards. I really like Kazuha. I really like Luca. I hope something like this one day comes to Marvel Snap. Our next giveaway will end Monday, 122, which means you have like 4 days to get your entries in. Our keyword is move, and our theme is Spider Verse. Again, participate by checking Drewberry's Discord and make cars with Snaptracker.me. Everything you need for this is in the description to the video. All right. So remember I told you about that tournament that had 7 Thanos blob decks? Thanos Lockjaw blob decks, and then one non. This is the one non, which means it waded through a field of shit like you wouldn't believe. Shawshank Redemption, and came out the other side completely free. I don't think it won the tournament, but still very, very impressive that it managed to even make top 8 in such a ridiculous field. And it's not really hard to see why. I think this deck is absolutely stellar. I think this deck is legitimately great. Um, let's go over a few reasons, right? So the lane lock of Storm is super strong, especially with Quake, obviously, right? Magic, likewise, is a card you can choose to play. Magic makes Blob weaker. And if you can figure out where they're going to blob, Juggernaut is an extraordinarily strong card. The name of the game with this deck, even though it doesn't look like it, is sort of clogging up opponents because they want to play on Nebula, right? And you have Magneto and Juggernaut to try and like win that lane, steal that lane. And if you can clog that lane and win the Storm lane, guess what? You've won the game. Quake lets you win locations, Magic and Storm lets you mess with locations. It's a thing of beauty. And if they don't see that Kyera, Shang. Cool. All right, Desmond posted the top 8. This was the only non blob. If blob is nerfed, the question we have to ask is will this rise? So Nebula and Jeff are the only high series cards here. That's it. So Iceman and Nightcrawler are the replacements, although Nebula and Jeff are important. Particularly, Nebula is pivotal to the strategy of this deck. So turn 1, Nebula. Turn 2, Medusa or Jeff. Turn 3, Storm is better than Magic, is generally better than a 2. Turn 4, Juggernaut if Storm. Captain Marvel if Magic. And Storm is also fine as a turn 4 play, as is doing the Quake to throw Storm's location away. Also really, really funny with priority if they're going to try and Reality Stone your if they're going to try and Reality Stone your Flooded, you can either Juggernaut that Reality Stone away, change a different location, or you can Quake and make that a different location 1 and lock down. It's glorious. Turn 5, Vision or Magic plus a 2. Turn 6, Magneto to Clog, and then you usually win. And turn 7, Doom or Quake. Doom or Quake plus Juggernaut plus a 2. Juggernaut is like again one of the keys along with Magneto to this deck. And then you just have so much control over locations. It's a thing of beauty. Really, really great idea for this deck. I don't know who made it, but thank you so much, Desmond, for sure. Quick variant talk. We go 3 straight hips at the start. I threw a random different Quake in here. So we got 3, and then I've got the bundle magic. I've got this Storm and Gold. This is the Storm we got for whatever music video thing they did. Baby Juggy. And then we went with Peach for both Shang and Captain Marvel so that we can have Peach friends. Another hip and another couple hips in Vision of Magneto, and then another card I have gold in this Doctor Doom, which I love. This Doctor Doom. Gorgeous. It's my favorite Doom. It finally toppled Emperor Doom, just as he was in the. All right. Kneel before your queen. 229% progress value is through the roof. This is also the best hell in the game for my money. This is just like genuinely top-notch value for Marvel Snap players, Marvel Snap fans. If you're gonna spend $50 and you need credits, get it now. worth noting. This is significantly better the earlier you are in Series 3, the less close you are to being Series 4 and 5 complete. Credits have more value the earlier you, because they mean more cards than just the Series 4 and 5 spotlight. Cool. Great. As you are Series 3 complete, this has less value. It's still worth buying, but it's no longer like a must have. And that's a key component. Thank you, as always, to Savage Yeti for helping me out with these. But the closer you are to game complete, especially if you're complete in Series 3, this barely makes enough value to be worth the money. Whereas if you are in early to mid Series 3, if you still have a bunch of Series 3 cards, this is phenomenal value and damn near a must buy. Good. Cool. Over on the new verse site, and thank you so much to Carolus for putting this together, there is this deal. You can get your 100 free credits without spending any money, so double check the new verse site to get that. For the next few days, you go on, you get 100 credits. Then if you spend $4, you get this Shuri variant, which is gorgeous. I have it, and 500 credits. If you have the variant, they say at the end of the thing, they're going to send you a premium mystery variant. So I'll get a premium mystery variant because I totally bought the Shuri. I did the math right in my head before it did it for me because I'm getting good at eyeballing these. But then you get another 250 credits free if you buy that Shuri. So for $4, what you fundamentally get are 750 credits and a variant, which is a good deal, right? Like this is a very good deal. That's way better than spending cash in most cases. And then you get for $10, right? 1900 credits, which is again a very good deal. You also get this lizard variant. And that's where the good deal ends. Um, the Sauron and Red Skull are not good deals. They're okay deals. They're perfectly mediocre deals. They're let's go with cromulent deals. Cool. Um, sorry, you get boosters for each. I don't care, but you get boosters for each. So the 2,000 tokens for $30 just isn't a great deal. The 5,000 for 50 with 650 credits is not good enough deal. You do get the 1,000 tokens between the two, which almost makes the Sauron worth it. But like honestly, not really. My general advice is spend, if you're willing to, the $14. Get 100 plus 500, 600 plus 250, 850 plus 12, 2050, right? And then 700, so 2,750 credits, and call it a day. You get two cool variants and have a wonderful time. If you need Sauron and Red Skull in Series 3, like right now, these do all go in one deck, and you already have Taskmaster. You can do that and then have a relatively good deck that you can compete with. However, you will still open the regular cards on collection track. So that's the downside. At the end of the day, this isn't really worth it. Got it? Shuri, Lizard, worth it. Collect your credits. Stop unless you're like desperate for these variants. And that is our bundle guide. Let's get to our last deck. Giselle Snaps Location, Location, Location. I like this deck. It is a standard Hulk evolutionary list. Uh I'm so annoyed that this isn't running Doom, but what are you gonna do? It is like I would run Doom over Care and just say if you're gonna Killmonger me or Shang me, good luck. But what do I know? This has won 3 Infinity tickets for Zal, which is a lot. Means it's gone at least 9-0, right? In Conquest games. Your basic gist here is you've got the Storm shenanigans. You've got Shocker to make whatever cheaper and then further trigger Cyclops. And then you've got enough negative stuff to just win games of Snap. You get to scam with Legion, you get to scam with Quake. And then otherwise win just by playing a lot of powerful cards. I like that. It's straightforward. So this needs Evolutionary and it needs Legion. Nebula can be Jeff or Armor without losing any very much. And I guess I should replace Kyra. Please replace Kyra with Doctor Doom. Good. If you must, She-Hulk is fine, but I like Doom there a lot. I guess Goliath also makes some sense. Okay. Um, this one 3 Infinity tickets. Turn 1 Nebula is better than Sunspot, which is more or less equal to Misty. I tend to like getting Sunspot down right, but if you want Prio, Misty. Turn 2 Shocker or a 1 Shocker. It depends on what it's going to hit. If it's going to hit Evo, obviously you don't care. If it's going to hit almost anything else, Shocker's pretty good, although you don't care about hitting Storm, right? You care about hitting anything that will allow you to have an extra energy to trigger your Hulk recycle. Turn 4 Cyclops, Thing, or Quake plus a 1. You could also try and do the Storm into Legion scam on turn 4. It still remains powerful and effective, especially if you have like if you go Nebula Sunspot Cyclops, the Storm Legion thing wins a lot of games. It's just really hard to beat it. That's gonna like those cards scale up enough that you can win. Um, Turn 5, Thing or Cyclops plus a 1 or Quake plus something else. Legion if you lost that Storm location or you didn't play Storm. If there's a location that benefits you, Legion. And if you're ahead, Slam Hulk. GG's. Cool. All right. Quick variant talk. We've got the Sunspot Nebula hips. Then we have Jim Lee, Friends of Storm and Cyclops. We also have the Evolutionary hip. We could have the Legion hip, but I felt like this deck needed some rock music. Hulk variants are a little bugged, but I do have this one, so it's fine. Give me a Kyra variant Marvel Snap. Shocker is steampunk today. Oh, that's why we went with Legion Rock, because Quake is breaking rocks, so Legion is breaking out. And then we have the Max Greek thing, because that's the only thing I have, and it's totally fine. We round it out with Misty, with Captain America's shield, which is one of my favorite variants in the cool. All right. We are on to variant shop. How about nothing? It was a nothing buying day. I have Emperor Doom, I have Baby Doom, and I have the Doom we saw from the bundle earlier. So I ain't buying any more Dooms. Like 5 Deadpools that you'll see at various points because we cover enough destroy decks. Um, this Null I have is great, and I always almost buy it when I realize I have a Spotlight Null and a hip, so I don't need to. I have a hip for Killmonger. I have Chibi Super Scroll. I don't like Baby Super Scroll because it's not Clert. It's a random Super Scroll, and I like Clert, the one that's got the Fantastic Four's power. I did not buy Baby She-Hulk. I have the Peach Moko She-Hulk, and also I spent enough this month apparently in the Newverse shop to get this other She-Hulk that's pretty great for free. So I have multiple great She-Hulks. I have both the first Spotlight and Hip Tribunal, so I'm good there. And I don't like the Max Grey Captain America like at all. It's very Yesterday, I showed you the wrong Moon Knight. I bought Mr. Knight and I showed you the wrong Moon Knight. So here's the right Moon Knight. I love this Moon Knight. It's one of my favorites. The little detail. I just think it's. We already talked about that She Hulk. And then we have this lovely leader that I randomly pulled on Collection Track as I was upgrading the She Hulk to Legendary. I keep all my borders gold. So as I was updating, I got this leader variant, and I'm pretty happy with it. I have a hip, so I'm not going to play it, but hey, I'm not happy to have a cool comic accurate variant. All right. Certain tiers of Patreon support come with thanks. They've got Models, Pretty Chill, Fothar Newman, Ink, No Flex, Mandatory Burnout, Matt Conduit 23, Good Dog Gamer, Kertix Lee, Mikey Hijinks, DG Winfield, Rob Silverman, Matt H, Rob Rivern, Abigail Giesland, Direwolf, Ocularis, Jay Navarrete. Hopefully I said that right. Welcome to our new page. Spike Jones, Louis Antunes, JD McDonaldino, and the homie Min, who's on the podcast we're recording tonight with Den. I think that second deck has a crazy amount of potential. That third deck is really good, but I would tweak it. On Doom, damn it. Otherwise, I think it's great. And I think that first deck is going to be. Should you buy Meek? No. I still vote no. It's super fun. So, like, if you want a fun card, then sure. But, like, in terms of, like, powerful meta stuff, I don't think so. I reserve the right to change my mind. As always, things change. But it's on the weaker side for me. I think we're going to stop seeing it. Or at least until next month when the other disc. Hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment. If you're interested in the Patreon, patreon.com/snapjudgments. They get an exclusive video every day, just like 2 minutes rambling about stuff. You know, the beginning of the video when I went nuts with the cat, stuff like that. So if you enjoyed it, check it out. See you tomorrow for another snap. Oh no, I will not see you tomorrow for another snap take. I'll see you later this afternoon for OTA stuff, and tomorrow for another. Ring that bell. Don't miss out. Peace.